to today's video, which is a monthly reset routine. I'm sure you might have seen these videos online. I absolutely love creating these kind of videos because it keeps me accountable. When I have a little routine going where we look at the previous month, we look at what we wanted to do but perhaps didn't do, we look at our wins, we look at what we want to do going forward. I think a new month, new week, new day even, but a new month gives us a fresh opportunity, like a fresh start to do the things that we want to do, to become better, to get back on track if we've fallen off. And I think having a little routine definitely helps us with that. For those of you who are new here, my name is Sarah. I post new videos every week on mindset, motivation, working for yourself, and daily routines, that kind of stuff. If you are new here, consider subscribing if those are topics of interest to you. And if you're returning, thank you as always for coming back. I really, really appreciate you. The reason why I like to do the reflection is because we only can learn and grow when we reflect on things that have been the downfalls or things that we weren't happy with, could have improved on, and will improve going forward. And I think by doing that is only going to give us the best chance to have a better month than we did the month before. So I use Notion for my basically everything to do with my monthly reset. I have templates in here. I'll link them down in the description box below if you want to use them. So the first question I asked myself were, what were my wins this month? What made me happy? So the launch of my new product for my e-commerce, I haven't yet launched it. I've done the process that goes on behind launching a product. If you have an e-commerce business, you know what I mean. So that's exciting. Getting organized in the apartment, slowly we're coming along with the apartment. As you might know, we've just moved in. More structure with my filming. I think I've been far more like on the ball with filming, and I think definitely been in the new apartment that is more aligned to like my style helps with that. And also my bridesmaids get in their bridesmaid boxes. I'm going to make a new video on that. I live in Thailand and my bridesmaids are elsewhere. They live everywhere. So I asked my bridesmaids partners to film them opening the boxes, which was so lovely. Like, I would love to give it in person, but obviously it's just not possible. So just seeing them opening the boxes and their reactions, it was just so lovely. What habits did I have that helped me? One thing that definitely helped me was the Be Focused app on desktop. It's a free app. I use the free version, and it's just like a timer on your desktop that keeps you accountable. It's like it goes off of the Pomodoro technique, which basically gives you like 25 minutes, you focus on one task, then you get a 5-minute break, and those break times increase throughout the day. And that just keeps me so focused. I procrastinate far less and I get so much more done. Reconnecting spiritually, meditation and journaling, I've been doing more of that. I need to do more, but it's definitely been an improvement of the previous month. Reading on the balcony in the morning, I've really enjoyed doing that. I read self-development books in the morning, and just even if it's just literally 20 minutes, it gets me excited about my day. It gets like ideas rolling, especially when you work for yourself. You kind of need some source of motivation. What challenges did I face? I got sick. So there was a virus going around Phuket and everybody was getting sick from this virus. I literally don't go anywhere. The only place I go is like the gym, the beach, pretty much it. And this particular day, I decided to go to a cafe with my friend. We worked from like not a co-working space, but kind of that style. We worked there together and we both got sick on the same evening, and it was horrible. So definitely that, because that knocked me off for a good couple of days. My camera broke, so my G7X Canon broke, which is kind of funny because I kept saying to myself, I want to buy a new camera, I want to buy a new camera, and then that broke and I was like, is it my sign to buy a new camera? But I think I'm going to reward myself. Once I get to 30,000 subscribers, then I'm going to give myself a new camera, which is a Sony, and I really, really want it. But it's going to be after I get 30,000. Who knows when that's going to be. My fridge broke, which twice it broke. So the first time they came to fix it, then it broke again, and we had to throw food away, which is something we hate doing. So that was inconvenient. How could I have done things differently? I could have been more consistent with waking up at 6 a.m. What acts of self-care have I given myself this month? I had a really lovely pamper day. I went to do my nails and all of that, and Roberto did his massage. We also went another day to have a couple's massage. Bath and evening routine. I had like, we have a really nice bathtub in this apartment, and just like going in the bath, reading, lighting candles, like those things for me are like self-care, and I absolutely love it. And hair masks and oils. I've got a hair mask in again today, and I've really been taking it seriously because this hair needs to grow for the wedding. What habits will I continue? Waking up earlier, reading in the morning, connecting spiritually, and my hair masks and oil. I want to do more of reading and note taking, so really taking reading seriously, sitting there with a pencil, highlighter. I've even bought like transparent sticky notes so I can really go all in on my notes when I'm reading, because I learn so much when I read, and I really want to retain the information that I do read. I can do a video on that if you want me to do a video on effective reading, because we can all read, we can all sit with a book and say we've read for 30 minutes, but how much of that information do we actually retain and learn from? So I can do a video on that. Meditating and walks on the beach in the morning, that's definitely something I want to do more of. I want to do less of always feeling the need to listen to something while I eat, cook, clean. I always want to put a podcast or listen to a debate, but actually I should just be comfortable in my own silence sometimes and comparing myself to others. I think I've had, like, when you work on YouTube and you're a small creator, it's really hard, and I think it doesn't matter if you're a big creator or a small creator, it's really hard to keep the momentum going, to keep the motivation going and discipline. And I do tend to compare myself to other YouTubers, and I upload content that I think is good, and I sometimes get views and then I don't, and then it's just like, oh, is there any point, you know? And I know there is point, I know it is an algorithm, and then I compare myself like, oh wow, but she's doing this and she's getting, and it's just not a comparison game. You can learn from other people and not be so self-critical. What am I grateful for? Roberta wanting to go to do a retreat with me, which I'll touch on that later. Sunny weekends together, so it's monsoon season in Thailand, but every weekend we've had, it's been pretty much sunny. We've been able to go to the pool together and read, and it's just been lovely. And having a gym in the apartment block so I can easily go, and a beach to walk on. Literally the beach is there, so that's something to be grateful for. What am I looking forward to doing next month? Silent retreat, I'll touch on it later. Deepening my spiritual connection and beginning a new book. Now we're looking at the previous monthly goals to see what I did and what I didn't do. So under self-development, I did finish a self-development book. 6 a.m. morning routine Monday to Friday, didn't do that. I mean, in general I did, but not enough to tick off the box. And meditation or journaling daily, I did do it, but I wouldn't say it every day. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on myself. Health and fitness, workout 3 to 5 times per week. Yes, I did. Morning yoga, walking on the beach. Didn't really do it enough to say. YouTube, sign new sponsor, like brand deal. Yes. 24,000 subscribers. No, I can't seem to get past this 24,000 subscribers. I don't know why. Miscellaneous, upload 2 to 3 reels per week on my personal Instagram. Yes. Share carousel posts on Instagram that will inspire and help people. 2 per week. Yes. Read 1 book for enjoyment. I didn't do that, which I seem to read like 3 to 4 books sometimes per month, but I didn't read anything in like enjoyment books. Business, upload content to Instagram, and I had to do like a website update for the phone version of my e-commerce website. Finance, update spreadsheet and budget sheet. Yes. Wedding, one-to-one call with favorite venue. No, we didn't, but I'll tell you why later. And sit down with Roberta to discuss more details about the wedding. Yes, we did do that. So this month's goals under self-development, I've got reading 30 minutes in the morning. Like I said, I love going out onto the balcony, preparing my coffee, no phone, no anything to distract me other than my book. I'll set an alarm for 30 minutes and just read. It's crazy how that can just uplift you, boost you into a great mood right away. Of course, if you're reading a good book. And it's just incredible. So I love doing that. Therapy weekly. So I recently started therapy again. I haven't done it since I was a child, and I find that in my line of work, and naturally, like, and I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, I find it quite natural to help motivate and inspire other people. And often when you give your energy and you fill up everybody else's cup, sometimes you're left lacking yourself. And as much as I have amazing family and friends who are great influencers and great listeners, I did feel like there was something missing. There's some things in life, like, I procrastinate a lot. I doubt myself a lot. I have a lot of negative talk, self-talk. And I'll come on here and tell you like how to handle it, but sometimes I need that myself. I need somebody to listen to me and to support me, if that makes sense. So I want to say a huge thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. BetterHelp are the world's largest therapy service, and it's done 100% online, which for me is incredible. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, all you need to do is answer a couple of questions about your needs and your preferences in therapy, and that way BetterHelp can match you with a therapist that they think will be the right fit for you. Then you can talk to your therapist however you want, whether it's like text, chat, a phone call or video call. It's completely up to you. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's most convenient for you. If your therapist is not the right fit for any reason, then you can swap over to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism, same quality that you would expect from an in-office experience, with more scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. You can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/SarahEmily. That's betterhelp.com/SarahEmily. I'll link everything down in the description box below. Following off from that, I think me as an expat living in a country that's not mine, where people are constantly traveling in and out, and I do spend most of my time alone, I think. And also, I appreciate I don't have access to a therapist that can probably speak my language and up to the standards that I would expect. And even if they did have somebody here on the ground in Thailand, then I'd have to jump in a car, jump in a taxi, pay for it, spend time going to those sessions. And for me, the most important thing is it's convenient around my timing, because I am on different time zones and I am in a random country basically. So that I work a lot, and my timing for work is not, you can start at this time, finish at this time. Sometimes my hours are just like all over the place. So I need something that's flexible. And I also don't want to go out of the house all of the time. I want to sit at home with my cup of tea and talk to my therapist directly. And I think that is the beauty of this. Meditation daily, even if it's for five minutes throughout the weekdays, I definitely want to do it. And a silent retreat, which I mentioned earlier. So there's a retreat in the middle of nowhere here in Thailand that me and Roberto are going to go to in July. It's very simple, nothing fancy whatsoever. It's not a glorified retreat. It's with the monks. It's you do chanting, you do meditation, you eat until like 12 midday and then no more eating. You wear only the same attire. You sleep in a room with no toilet. I'm so excited, like I'm petrified, because you don't have your phone. So I'm really frightened because me, for example, like going to the toilet in the middle of the night, like there's a communal toilet, but you'll have to like go through part of the jungle to get there, which I know for me is going to be horrendous, because I'm really frightened of like snakes and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be interesting. And also apparently like the bed you sleep on is not comfortable at all. It's like a hard bed. They don't really give you like proper mattresses or anything like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that treats me. I said last month, I felt quite disconnected to my spiritual self, and I wanted to reconnect with that. And I have done that recently, but I definitely know where I was like maybe a year and a half ago. I was so spiritually connected. I want to get back to that, and I think this will definitely help. I am so excited, and I'm going to film it. I don't know how much of it I can film, but I definitely want to document this, because I think it will be so interesting for you to see and for me to look back on in time to come. Health and fitness, record the beginning of my fitness journey. Now that will take some confidence, because I really don't want to, you know, like you see these videos like the before and afters. I want to do that because I want to, one, keep myself accountable, and two, I want to hopefully change some things and inspire and motivate somebody else out there. So I want to do that. I want to start documenting my fitness journey and to see if I can lose weight. And I know that that can be triggering to some people, but for me, that's what I want to do. I'm getting married next year. I want to drop some weight because I put a lot of weight on, and I want to document it. So also work out 3 to 5 times per week. YouTube, again, record my fitness journey, consistently upload, which I've been pretty good at, sign a new sponsor, create new video template. Yes. So if you work online, if you're a YouTuber yourself, I create everything in Notion, but when it actually comes to physically filming, I get flustered sometimes and I'm like, oh gosh, what am I supposed to be doing from this? So I like to, for example, today's video, I have it even written down here, like a little list that I've made, and I've made like tick boxes of what I want to capture. Today's video is pretty simple and straightforward, but I want to create like a printed template that I can just refer to every single time I'm making a YouTube video, so I'm organized, I know what I'm doing, I know what content I need to shoot, which B-roll, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely something I want to do, and I want to reach 25,000 subscribers, but Lord knows it's taken me ages. Like I say, we're getting married next year, and my partner is Italian. I think it's about time that I started to invest that time in learning, and yeah, that's what I plan to do. We bought a new cocktail shaker set, which Roberto says he wants to experiment with. He's very creative with drinks, he's very creative with food. I think he was like a chef in his past life, and he said he wants to experiment, which I'm very excited about. Even if we just create mocktails and those things, very excited about that. Try baking in the air fryer. So when we moved in here, when we viewed this apartment, I didn't realize there was no oven. Imagine, no oven. So we have an air fryer, thankfully, and we do cook a lot there. So I'm like, I can bake in the air fryer, surely. I can definitely bake. So I'm gonna try baking, and I want to do a Notion refresh. So my Notion, let me show you what it looks like. So my Notion looks like this, and I just want to get a bit more organized with it and give it a little refresh, because it's time to give it a little refresh. It deserves it. I've got some things in here that I don't even use, and yeah, I just want to get back on track with that. Then business, I will actually launch my e-commerce product, and I've just put push. Like, I really want to launch it really well. Again, if you have an e-commerce business, you know what happens behind the scenes and how much work goes into actually launching a new product. Organize my hard drive, which is something that has been on my mind for a while. I need to go into the back end of my computer and just, this MacBook has been lasting me ages, and I need to give it some love. I need to like go through things, sort out my hard drive, and just do that boring stuff. Finance, mindful spending, instead of just like walking on the beach, should we have a beer, should we have a beer, should we? Sometimes I feel like I just do things for the sake of it, but do I actually want a beer like during those times? Maybe not. So just like little things like that, like wedding, finalize 3 venues to visit in September. Keep saying this, and it's only because there's no point for us to schedule anything until we know what date we're going in September. Now we kind of know roughly what date we're going. So I think what we plan to do is when we're going to Sicily for Roberto's brother's Italian wedding this year. And during that time that we're going to be in Italy and Sicily, that's when we're going to go and look at our venues for next year. So it's going to be a wedding trip, but I'm very excited. And I think if we can just like take 2 days, drive around, go and see the venues, maybe do some food tasting and just be done with it and book something, very much looking forward to it. So that's very, very exciting as well. And lastly but not least, my monthly favorites, which I don't have that many for you. Normally I recommend books that I've read. Let me get the book that I actually read. One sec. This is the book that I read this month by, I don't want to say the title for obvious reasons, but it's by Gary John Bishop, Get Out of Your Head and Into Your Life. It motivated me. I was going through a bit of a slump at the beginning of the month, and it definitely motivated me to take action. That's the beauty of when you read self-development books, and when you're sitting out wherever you are, even in the house, even in bed, it's those books that you read that make you want to take action. That's all I ask for, because sometimes you just need a bit of like, come on, you can do it, like, or you need someone to tell you the truth. And this book does tell you the truth, and it's very straightforward and no nonsense. So I really do enjoy that approach, and even Roberto's reading it now as well. Another thing that I would 100% recommend is the Superhuman app. It's an app, I've mentioned it before, they haven't sponsored me for that. If you haven't tried meditation before, then I would recommend this app. I've mentioned it before, and I've actually had you comment and say like, actually this really worked for me, and thank you for recommending it. Writing meditations, which I probably use that one the most. So she'll give like journal prompts. So when I'm like a bit stuck, or I don't know, I just need a bit of guidance for my journaling, then she asks questions, gives you prompts, gives you ideas. I find that really helpful. And sometimes you ask yourself, like even for Kindle, I've subscribed to like the Kindle now, where you can read books. You can't save them, but you can read them and be done with it. And I think that is really good. I think things like investing in yourself, because I remember when I was living as a flight attendant, and I'd buy a coffee every single day. And when you add that up, it's so expensive. And there's nothing wrong with getting a coffee, but if you just swap, like, or even cocktails, I go on a night out, buy some cocktails. If I just took a part of what I spend on coffees or cocktails or whatever it was and put it into myself, like therapy, like books, like apps, like Superhuman, you're investing in yourself at the end of the day, and you're only going to reap the benefits of it. So yeah, this app is just, I absolutely love it. It's my go-to every single day when I meditate. I'll open this and follow this. I also recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza. I've mentioned him many times on my channel before. If you need somebody for motivation, if you are looking for that next step in spirituality, then I'd recommend listening to his podcasts. He's just recently done a podcast with Jay Shetty, so you can watch that on YouTube. So much on YouTube for free that you can watch. So he is an incredible one. His meditations, you probably need to study his work a little bit before you can understand his meditations, because they can be a little bit not heavy. It will feel heavy, and like you'll be confused if you don't really understand the work behind him, if that makes sense. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'd 100% say invest your time in and watch him and learn from him. So that's it for today's video. It's been a bit of a long one. If you've hung in here, then thank you very much. And again, I've put everything down in the description box below. If you do want to sign up for therapy, use that link. You can get 10% off your first month. If there's anything else you want to see in these routines or anything I've mentioned, please let me know as well. And I will see you in the next video.